Hi there, this is the Solitary Ronin, and welcome to Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to another Top 10. I've done a Akira Kurosawa Top 10, who's my favourite director of all time, so I thought I would do, in my opinion, the best director that's still working at the moment, and probably, arguably my second favourite director of all time, and that is John Sayles. Now, I would like to think cinephiles would know who John Sayles is, but probably people just beginning to make collections or relatively new to kind of world cinema might not know who John Sayles is. John Sayles started as a writer for Roger Corman. He wrote the script for Piranha and Alligator and The Battle Beyond the Stars. He's also script doctored for Hollywood. I believe he script doctored Apollo 13, the Ron Howard film. But after seeing kind of how films were kind of made and how it worked on Piranha, he decided to actually turn his hand to make his own films. One of the reasons that I think Sayles is so underrated or undervalued or just unknown is because his films are generally character based. They are always socio-political. Republicans would probably call him a communist. But the reason that Sayles is so fantastic is his writing. So he pretty much writes, directs and edits his own films. But his writing is just stunning. He can write for anybody. Men, women, black, white, Hispanic, straight, gay. Anything. I mean, he's written novels in Spanish. He's just such a smart guy. And another reason that maybe his films aren't as popular as they should be, because I am a huge champion of John Sayles, is because the synopsis of his films maybe don't grab people. And as I go through this top 10, you might think, well, that doesn't sound very good. But believe me, the strength of Sayles is in his writing. So much so that at the end of his great films, you want to follow the characters for the rest of their lives, pretty much. A 2-hour John Sayles film could easily be 10 hours, because you'd want to follow the characters for the rest of their lives. He just writes them so well. How many times have you watched a film and there's dialogue that you just kind of go, that doesn't sound right, or that's just not very good dialogue? You'll never hear that in John Sayles films. He just has a gift of writing dialogue that is right for the characters regardless of their background. He's done different films, he's done sports films, he's done foreign language films. Obviously started in small independent films, and it does kind of upset me and frustrate me, the fact that, you know, he has to scrabble for money, even like a couple of $1 million to make a film, whereas mainstream Hollywood spends, you know, $50 million just on advertising for certain films. So much so that if I ever actually won a huge amount of money in the lottery, I would actually try and get some to John Sayles to make films, because his films are just that good. So shall we begin? And again, leave comments, please like and subscribe if you want to see more top 10 videos and more Blu-ray Criterion type stuff. Another thing about John Sayles that is a great tragedy is currently there's only 3 of his films that you can get on Blu-ray, and none of them are his masterpieces. So if anybody from Criterion happens to bizarrely stray across this channel, please could we try and get some John Sayles films on Criterion, or any Blu-ray label would be amazing. Currently only Honey Dripper, 8 Men Out and Baby It's You are available on Blu-ray as far as I know. I've seen all of these films, and I have all of these films on Blu-ray or DVD, the majority on DVD, apart from Amigo, which was his film about the US involvement in the Philippines, which I've never seen. It's not available on DVD. I believe there's like edited versions on YouTube. I think you could buy a educational DVD copy of it for like $400 or something. So that's the only one of his films I haven't seen. But there needs to be a kind of groundswell among cinephiles to try and get John Sayles films more exposure. Okay, I apologise for the rant, but I just love his films, and his films need to be seen by more people. Anyway, let's go with number 10, shall we? And number 10 is The Secret of Roninish. Now, this is a classic example of Sayles skills. This is set in Ireland with Irish actors, and John Sayles' script isn't hackneyed American writer trying to do Irishness. It's just perfectly written. It's a beautiful little family film about seals and islands cut off, and it's just a beautiful little film. But again, the synopsis doesn't sound that great, but it's a lovely little film, and it's beautifully shot, and please can we get this on Blu-ray? That will be a popular refrain throughout this video. Number 9 is Brother from Another Planet, which in this DVD box set it has John Sayles' first 3 films, Return of Secaucus 7, which essentially was then ripped off and made into The Big Chill, Liana, which again, another example of his brilliance at writing, is about a married woman who comes to the realisation that she's gay, and it follows her journey, and John Sayles actually plays her husband, and again there's no cliches, it's just beautifully written. And then the third film is Brother from Another Planet, and this is a great wee film, and it's about Joe Morton. He plays an alien who lands in New York, and he can't speak, so it's literally just the people around him reacting to him and giving away their behaviours and expressing themselves and giving away all their secrets to him, and he just stands there and listens. And it's a great performance by Joe Morton because it's so expressive, because all he is doing is listening. Again, it's a little low budget film, but it has more ideas and is a lot more likeable than a million big budget science fiction epics. It's a great wee film. It's a funny little film, and as a character says in one of the scenes, white people get stranger all the time, and that's fairly true. So that's number 9, Brother from Another Planet. Again, not on Blu-ray. Please can we amend this? People of the World. Number 8 is actually on Blu-ray, and this is 8 Men Out. This is John Sayles' baseball film about the 1919 Black Sox, or the 1919 Chicago White Sox, but they were called the Black Sox after certain members of them were found guilty of throwing the World Series. Again, it's an amazing ensemble cast for, again, a low budget film. It's got John Cusack, Charlie Sheen, David Strathairn, Clifton James, Christopher Lloyd, D.B. Sweeney. John Sayles actually makes an appearance as one of the sports writers, and it's just for a film with as small a budget as it has, the production design, the setting of the time, it's a beautiful film. It's beautifully shot. Again, it's got a wonderful ending. The characters are rich, they're well written. Because again, the power of Sayles, a lot of Hollywood films, the bad guys are bad and the good guys are good. Whereas John Sayles understands that bad guys have their own agendas, they have their own reasons for doing things. Again, his depth of characterisation is just amongst the best you'll ever see, and his strength is his writing, but that shouldn't kind of undermine how beautiful his films are as well, how well acted they are, and I think he just brings that out of actors. So that's number 8. 8 Men Out, strangely enough, what a coincidence. Number 7, this is Lone Star, which again is just absolutely fantastic. I think this is actually one of the toughest top 10s, because from film 7 to 1, they could all just be in, different positions, because they're all masterpieces. Again, this is only available on DVD, which is a tragedy. Again, it's beautiful. I think it was nominated for an Oscar because of the script. Can't remember whether it actually won or not. But it was his most popular film at the time. And Sayles did say it's because it was set in Texas and there's lots of people in Texas, and 2, it's got a gun in it, so that's why it's popular. Again, this is just another sprawling character piece with intertwining stories. Again, Robert Altman gets lots of credit for doing multifaceted character pieces with intertwining stories that all kind of come together, but Sayles for me does it a lot better, and you care about characters, and again, like I said earlier in the intro, you want to follow these characters for the rest of their lives. It's got a somewhat subversive ending that kind of goes unnoticed when you first kind of watch it, but if you actually think about it, it's fairly subversive. Chris Christopherson gives a fantastic performance. Matthew McConaughey is in it briefly and gives a wonderful performance, but the real standout is Chris Cooper. Over the years, John Sayles has kind of regular actors in his films. Chris Cooper, Gordon Clapp, David Strathairn, and Chris Cooper gives a wonderful performance in this, and it is an absolute masterpiece. So if you can find it, please watch it. And let me know what you think about it in the comments. Number 6 is Sunshine State, set in Florida, and again it's a huge ensemble cast. Angela Bassett, Edie Falco, Timothy Hutton, Mary Steenburgen, Ralph Waite, and again it's another multifaceted, multi-character examination of like the history of Florida, and it's a masterpiece. But again, if you kind of describe the synopsis to people kind of go, what? I'm not watching that. There's no guns and car chases in it. But it's just amazing. It's fantastic. And this edition has a commentary by John Sayles. And John Sayles' commentaries are amazing too. He pretty much tells you how to make a low budget film. For me, the best commentaries on films are John Sayles, Michael Mann, David Cronenberg, and John McTiernan. But John Sayles is absolutely fantastic. So much knowledge. He's such a smart guy, and this is just a fantastic film, and I urge people to see it. Number 5 is Men with Guns, which again is a masterpiece. In typical Sayles style, this was the film he did after he had his most kind of mainstream success with Lone Star, as far as he got an Oscar nomination. And then he does Men with Guns, which is set in a unnamed Central American country or South American country, and it's in Spanish with subtitles. But it's a masterpiece. This is a film about a doctor, kind of well-to-do doctor that had sent out his students into the countryside, not knowing what was actually waiting for them, not really having an idea of what the political situation in the country was. So he goes out to try and find them, and he comes to the realisation that the world has changed from his kind of protected lifestyle, and it's a road movie. He comes across different characters who have obviously different stories, and again, Sayles' script is just beautiful. It's a beautiful film. It's got moments of obviously horror in it, just the way humans treat other humans, but at the end it's quite uplifting and moving, and again you want to follow the characters for longer than, when the credits roll. And again, not like banging on about it continually, but that's the strength of John Sayles. You love these characters and you want to know more about them, and in the age of films that you don't care about characters, the films just go in one ear and out the other, John Sayles films, like all great filmmakers, they stay with you. Moments stay with you. Images, scenes stay with you. And this is an absolutely beautiful film. And again, not on Blu-ray. Can we please do something about this? Number 4 is one of these most, I'd say, controversial, but it upset a lot of people. This is Limbo. The clue's in the title. And again, this is just an amazing film. Again, multi-strands of story, multiple characters, but just absolutely brilliant. It's Mary Elizabeth Mastrioni, if I can pronounce her name, and David Strathairn as a couple in Alaska who kind of find each other. So kind of the first half is again pretty much a social political study of Alaska and lots of characters, and then the second half kind of changes and it's more kind of about the 3 central characters, the man, the woman and her daughter, when they go on a day trip. And I'm not going to ruin the ending, but it certainly divided a lot of people. When I saw it, I just thought it was absolutely brilliant, and it is an ending that you won't ever forget. So if you have seen this, could you please let me know in the comments what you thought of the ending? And if you haven't seen it and you watch it for the first time, please let me know what your reaction is. But again, it's a beautiful film. It was actually, the DP was Axel Wexler, who did one of his films that's still to come on the list. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, the script is amazing. And again, you just want the film to keep going and going and going because you fall in love with the characters. So that's Limbo at number 4. Now number 3 is a really sad story. This is City of Hope, which again is an absolute masterpiece, but you cannot get on Blu-ray and you can't even get on an official DVD release. This is a copy DVD. Again, it's a huge, sprawling film, multi-characters, about essentially how a city works. So it goes from the mayor's office, it goes from a construction company, the deals that need to be made, and it also follows a character and his struggles. And there's obviously so many different characters with so many different stories, but it all kind of comes together brilliantly with Sayles. John Sayles actually acts in it as well. But again, it's ridiculous that you can't even get a proper DVD release, let alone a Blu-ray release. But again, it's another one of his masterpieces. I remember reading in a book that somebody from the mayor's office in New York, I believe, pretty much said that this film is the most accurate as far as how a city actually works, the kind of deals that need to be made, and the decisions that need to be made. But again, that sounds like a really dry, film, but it's not. It's rich, it's beautiful to look at, and again, I'm repeating myself, but you just want to follow the characters for years to come, because it's just such a brilliant film. And please, if you can, somehow, please check it out. Because that's the other thing, these films aren't on streaming services, they're not on Netflix, they're not on Amazon Prime, and it's really terrible. Okay, we're almost at the top 2, and then I'll let you get on with your lives. Number 2 is Matewan, which again isn't really on a decent DVD release, and you can't get it in Blu-ray. This is again another one of Sayles' absolute masterpieces. This is set in a Pennsylvania mining town in the 20s. Again, great synopsis, isn't it? It sounds absolutely fantastic. But it is. Again, this was shot by Axel Wexler, and it's absolutely beautiful. It has that, it kind of looks like old photographs, that kind of yellowy grey kind of look. And again, it's beautifully played. James Earl Jones is in it, Chris Cooper, Mary McDonnell. It's just, it's an amazing film. You could make the argument it's the best film of the 80s. Obviously lots of people would disagree and say various other films. But Matewan, it's important. Again, it's a social political document, and I know that might turn people off, but it's also a really good story. Plus it does have guns in it, so more people really should know what it is. It's just a wonderful film, and again, more people should see it. And again, the characters are so well written. Granted, the kind of heavies sent by the company to kind of break up the union are maybe a little bit cartoonish, but everybody else is just so subtly written. There's a beautiful scene where the disparate kind of groups of immigrant workers, the blacks and the Italians, they all come together through music, and it's just beautiful. there's great dialogue in it. There's great speeches. Again, one of the, like I said, Sayles' writing is his strength, but he also realises that kind of in real life people don't make these amazing speeches and don't have these amazing witty one-liners like most Hollywood films do. So his dialogue is very realistic, but obviously Chris Cooper's character in this plays a union leader, so obviously he has some speeches which are fantastic, but in general in his films people just talk the way people talk. There's no great speeches and no amazing dialogue, it's just like people talking how they talk. This is a masterpiece, but then probably films through 1 to 7 are masterpieces, and again it's just a shame that more people can't see them and they're not on better editions. And the number 1 film by John Sayles, in my opinion, is Passion Fish. Again, this is only on DVD, it's not available on Blu-ray. This is an absolute masterpiece. But again, the synopsis is Mary McDonnell plays a soap opera actress who is paralysed in a car accident, and Alfre Woodard is her nurse, and it's about their relationship. Yep, it sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Again, Dave Strathairn's in it. It's just so beautifully written, and again in the hands of somebody else it could just be like a TV movie of the week, but with Sayles it's an absolute joy. It's never sentimental, it's never maudlin, it's never cliched, which again you could just say about all of these films. Again, it's beautiful, it's shot amazingly, it's set in the bayou in New Orleans because she goes back to her hometown. There's just classic scene after classic scene, and again it's about a 2-hour film. Well, it's actually 135 minutes, so it's 2.25 hours, but this could easily be 4 hours long, because again, I'm repeating myself, but you just want to follow their lives for the next 20 years, because they're just so well written. You fall in love with the characters and you do just want to follow them for the rest of their lives. So again, this one is fairly easy to get compared to the other ones, but obviously not on Blu-ray, so please check it out. If you're intrigued by any of the films in this video, let me know in the comments below, and thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, and if you want to see any more top 10s, then you could leave me some suggestions. This is Solitary Ronin Films, and this is Solitary Ronin saying thank you very much, and we'll see you again.